Hi, today making a quick video on how to save configuration for a microcontroller, and you can really use it for any other thing you want to in the future. This saves the EEPROM of the microcontroller, but feel free to use an external EEPROM if you have one in order to save bigger configurations for the microcontroller. Alright, so we're going to talk about two files we have here, that's the config.h and the config.cpp. Alright, so the first we need to look at is we need to create a structure for the configuration we're going to create. So in this configuration, we have the version API, key API server, GPRS login, GPRS password, hour, minute, API port, and a code. So basically, this is the structure, and this is how the configuration is going to be saved according to. Missing this, misplacing this is going to cause havoc to the code. So just go according to this, and then we can always call the particular variable we want from the structure. Not knowing where it is stored in the EEPROM, and we're still going to get the value we stored to it there. One nice thing about this is it allows us to save it from whenever we want to. So if you look on top here, we have this config start here, which determines where to start saving the configuration from, and then the config version here, which is going to tell us which version of the configuration you're running. So in the event of when you start the microcontroller and then the event does not match, then that means it's going to load the default configuration. Okay, so once this is set at that level, we go to the main program and then we're going to define certain things. So initialization here is going to be done when we start the configuration. So it's going to initialize and then going to stream copy things in there. So this is going to be our default values, which we are going to have in there. So I decided to use a source here, which is of 30 bytes. That's a char array. And we save everything in there. With the exception of the integers, which you can see I've called them into them by integer values, that's 12, 0, 0, and then 80, and then the default code here. So this happens to be a program I was just writing for a security system, which has to save a code. So there's a default code which I'm assigning to, and the default code where is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have two functions for this. That's to load the configuration, to save the configuration. To load the configuration here is going to load it from the EEPROM, and to save it, to save to the EEPROM. Simple. But when loading, it's going to check the version to make sure the version matches what it's supposed to be. If the version does not match, then that means it's going to load default configuration. That means whatever is saved into the structure during initialization is going to be saved into the EEPROM. But then if it matches, the version matches, then that means we've already saved something to EEPROM already, and the version matches, and that means it's going to load whatever is from the EEPROM into the structure. So that overrides the structure we've already initialized with the default values. So in our main code here, we are going to call debug int, and this here links to whatever we have here. You can always take these lines out if you have your own, if you have your own debug. But in my debug, I actually just write this so I could use the RAM and not the ROM. So this is what we have. So I'm going to call my debug to initialize my debug interface, and then I'm going to initialize my configuration, and I'm going to load my configuration. So this is very important to always load your configuration, else once you try to load it, it's not going to have anything in there. So we are going to run this code here, and we should see. I'm going to clear this. So come here, we said it's going to clear it from the EEPROM, and I'm going to run this now. Once I run it, it tells me default config loaded, configuration saved to EEPROM. That's all we want to do. For us to see what's happening in there, we're going to pause this, debug AVR EEPROM memory. And the EEPROM here, we can see whatever we saved in there. If you're not sure, we can see the API key I saved here. This is the API server, there was no passwords. This is the internet for the GPRS APM which we have there. There was no password. So realize that whatever we structure we gave to, the size of array we gave to is being filled. This is the default password which is a long, and you can see it's a D204. And once you convert that, it's going to be 1234. So that is how we save configuration for microcontroller, and feel free to utilize all the space you have. Thanks for watching. See you next time.